Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are having a good morning. Hope the Lord is, well, I know the Lord is being good to you. So I hope you're just having a good day. I wanted to, not that I even thought that I should, but thought about it, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. It was an unfortunate situation all the way around. I feel bad for the guys involved. I feel bad for Chris Rock because no grown man should ever have to get slapped in front of millions of people by another grown man. And I feel bad for Will Smith because I feel that he is the victim of manipulation, and he is emotionally stretched, spiritually stretched, and he once again, as I've said several times, allowed the enemy to work in him to get him to do something that was just incredibly stupid. And I don't care what you think about him trying to defend his wife. What he did was stupid. It was silly. It was immature. Chris Rock cracked a joke about Jada. Said G.I. Jane 2 coming soon, which, by the way, G.I. Jane, if you've never seen that movie, it's a very empowering movie for women. So I don't know what was so offensive about the G.I. Jane. Maybe it was alluded to the fact that G.I. Jane had a shaved head in the movie. And everybody was laughing, including Will, until he looked over and saw Jada's face, and she was uncomfortable with the joke, which I get, with the struggles of black women in their hair. Maybe she took it the wrong way. I do know, as a married man, women can't take it like they dish it. Women can get the small mouth and say whatever they want to say when they feel like it, get the neck rolling, particularly black women. But when you come back, you got something fly to say about them, they don't take it as well as they feel like others should take it. And I just thought that that thing could have been handled differently all the way around. First of all, for Will to just all of a sudden flip once he saw Jada's reaction, he could have taken that a bunch of different ways. He could have grabbed her by the hand and said, "Baby, it's okay. It's just Chris being Chris." When he got up to go put hands on Chris, she could have stopped him and said, "Baby, not here. We do this somewhere else." That could have been stopped. I do know it's been brewing for a long time. Chris went off in 2016 about them boycotting and Jada boycotting, and I don't know if that was building up or whatever, but it was just not a good look. It was not a good look for several reasons. It was not a good look, number one, that in the 90-something year history of the Oscars, nothing like this has come close to remotely happening, with all of the people being roasted by hosts for years, for decades upon decades upon decades. This happens this year with two black men, one brother slapping another, which it wouldn't have made a difference who slapped who, but it's just a bad look. It's a bad look all the way around. It's a bad look because I don't think people understand. I see a lot of people condoning what Will did. And my response to people who condone Will did is, you must not watch the Oscars. You must not know the high prestige that's the moment this is. I know a lot of people don't watch the Oscars, they didn't even know what's happening. They just tuned in, saw the slap, and was like, we was justified. But, you don't know the environment. You don't ever watch the Oscars. You just tuned in or got on YouTube to watch the slap. You've never sat down and watched the Oscars, the moment that this is for these people. If you've sat down and watched the Oscars, then you know that what happened is absolutely shocking in an environment like that. This isn't the Source Awards or the Soul Train Awards or, the Heavy Metal Awards. This is the night of elegance for all of the stars in Hollywood. And for that to happen in that environment when it's, again, never come close to happening before, is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. For people who know what the Oscars is, that was a lot. And then there's this for me, for Will. I think it's bad because Now he'll get past. People will never disconnect him from this. Congratulations, by the way, on winning the Oscar, and to everybody else who won, which that's another part of the thing that's a tragedy. For all the historic moments, for all the people that were involved, it all went under the radar. It should have been a celebration for him, for Questlove, for Samuel L., for all the people who won. And it wasn't. And then, again, to go a step further with that, as a black man, and seeing the opportunity that we had two black women hosting, it's the first time ever that we had an African American in charge of the whole show, in charge of the entire production. He was in charge of everything. I can't remember the brother's name, but he was in charge of the entire production of the show. The first time in history that a black man was ever in charge of producing the whole show. This happens then. And I know you're not supposed to make everything racial, but man, it just doesn't sit well with me that the first year in Oscars, they've entrusted the production of a show to an African-American man, two African-American men get to a physical altercation in front of millions of people. That's not a good look. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. And then there's this. Will Smith, as a artist, as a rap artist, Will Packard, that's who it was. It was Will Packard. He produced the Oscars this year. Will Smith, as an artist, as a hip hop artist, crowning jewel of his career was the fact that he was a rapper who did not cuss. He was a rapper who did not promote violence. As a matter of fact, he took heat from other rappers for, one of his songs. He said, "You rappers think you're something," or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing, but try to say wrong rhyme without a cuss. And then, of course, Eminem had the famous comeback on Real Slim Shady, please stand up. Will Smith don't have to cuss in his rapper said record. Well, I do, so blank him and blank you too. That was a response to what Will got up on stage and said at that I think it was the Grammys. But he always stood on that. And the rapper who was famous for not promoting violence, for not cussing, and not having violent lyrics, goes up on stage, performs the most violent act I've ever seen a rapper perform at a award show, and then cusses up a storm when he goes back to his seat. I think it puts a stain on his legacy as an MC, because a lot of people are gonna be like, what happened to that practicing what you preach, Will? And I understand the brother has been under high stress, and I believe that Chris Rock took that slap, not for Chris Rock. Chris Rock took that slap for all the people on Twitter, all the people on social media, all the memes, all the crying face memes, all the things that his wife said to embarrass him, all the things that everybody else said to embarrass him, that he couldn't slap. Chris took that slap for them, and he chose the right one, by the way. Chose a guy who was half his size, who was not known to be willing to throw hands at the drop of a dime. Because had that been Steve Harvey, cracked that same joke, he wouldn't have moved. Or if that had been The Rock, who was in the audience, cracked that same joke, he wouldn't have moved. So he chose the right one. He definitely chose the right one to run up on stage on. Now, Chris Rock, he didn't know she had alopecia. A lot of people didn't know she had alopecia. A lot of people don't watch that show, Red Table Talk. So a lot of people didn't know. It is a struggle with black women. Chris Rock did a documentary called Good Hair about the struggle of black women with their hair. And he interviewed people with women with alopecia. And he didn't know. He didn't know that she had it. It's not life-threatening, but it is hard for women. Because women are crowning glory as their hair, so to lose your hair as a woman and not be able to do anything about it, it hurts for women. So that is a serious matter for her. Her feelings were hurt. The struggle of not having a hair, not having your hair, not being able to grow your hair. Hearing that joke, I don't know if everybody misunderstood one another. Like I hear G.I. Jane joke, I'm thinking, he's making reference to an empowering woman movie. I don't know what made him just look over at her reaction and just feel the need to do that, to get up and hit that man. I thought that was strange. But I think that ultimately Will has got to get a handle on his life spiritually. He's got to stop letting things that involve his wife embarrass him. She has an affair. There's been reports that they've had affairs on one another, but she has an entanglement with one of her son's friends, rumored to have had a relationship with a young kid who was with Kris Kross, who passed away. She goes on the Red Table Talk. She discusses things. She sits him down, embarrasses him. She goes on to embarrass him further with revealing other things about their relationship, revealing that sometimes she isn't pleased in the bed. I can't remember specifically what she said, but it was something else to embarrass him. Continuing to talk about her love for Tupac, when you have a man to love. All these things, and then letting her reaction allow you to do that. You can't keep letting your wife manipulate you, bro. You can't keep letting your wife, everything she do, drive you crazy. She better be lucky he didn't do it. My wife, I had her laughing, and I'm not that I would have done this, but she lucky that when Chris cracked that joke and everybody was laughing with her, the Will didn't turn around and look at her and go, "Hey, don't feel good, do it. Don't feel good to be sitting there embarrassed in front of a bunch of people. Now you know how I felt. Suck it up. I love you, babe, but suck it up. Now you finna be a meeting for a minute." Lucky she lucky he didn't do that. But I thought it was an unfortunate situation. I don't think this sets black people back, please. But I still think it's not a good look. We've come a long way. We haven't come that far to be slapping each other at the Oscars. Like, come on, y'all. We gotta do better than that. I don't know what's gonna come of this. Some people say it was staged. I think too many people are conspiracy theorists on that. I think Chris Rock showed a lot of restraint. I think he showed a lot of manhood. And I think he recognized what I recognize, and that is, I have to take one for the team. Two black men can't be up here throwing hands. I think that weighed on him. I think in that moment when he clutched his fist and he would have liked to stroke back, I think it weighed on him. We can't be up here doing this. I think he's still fully aware of that component of the situation. He was aware of that. But ultimately, I don't justify Will in what he did. And for all you people who are saying that that's how you defend your woman, y'all are the women who saying that, y'all are the ones who are choosing the wrong men. If when somebody says some words to you, you feel like your man going up and physically assaulting somebody is the answer, you're the ones who picked the wrong men. Because that's not how you defend your woman. That's how you defend your woman when somebody's trying to physically assault her. But he could have easily stood up in the audience from where he was and shouted on stage to Chris, "Bro, that's enough." Or he could have, what people do when that's enough, bro. She good. And Chris could have got him like, "All right, I'm gonna move on." But no good can come of that. And if you were looking to put an end to all the heckling, but you just made it worse. If you thought by that, you were saying, "I'm tired of it, I got to do something." You did nothing but make it worse. You didn't even make it worse for everybody involved. It only got worse. It's not going to get better. You didn't take a load off your shoulders. You just put more of it on. Because now in the future, for years to come, you will be known as the man who went up on stage and physically assaulted another man. You will be known as that. And there's no way around that. Chris apologized. He was a big enough man to do that. I see Will has offered an apology. I hope they can work it out, man. But it's tough. It's tough for you slap another man in front of millions of people. Y'all may not speak for a minute. Y'all might not speak for a minute. I know a lot of people, brothers, would have handled that differently. Shannon Sharp said he definitely would have handled it differently. I gotta admit, even as a man of God, it would have took all of my knowing the Lord. As a former boxer who got hands, it would have took everything within me to not put them on display. Can't lie to you. But fellas, don't let this be a thing that you do. Women, don't let this be a thing that you expect from your man when you getting fly with your mouth, somebody get fly back and want him to go over and hit that person, because I know women are known to do that. A lot of women prefer to date bigger, more intimidating looking men just for that purpose, so they can feel the freedom to say foul stuff to people and dare people to say something back. Because my man right here, you see my man here. So let me talk to you the way I want to talk to you, and you better shut up and just take it, because my man, you right here. So I know a lot of women who like to do that. So a lot of people are just immature that way. But this is not a good look. But I hope they both get over it. I pray for healing for Will and Jada. I pray for emotional healing for Will, because he has had it. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm through. I hope that he didn't take Richard Williams' story and try to justify hitting that man. Talking about Richard Williams' defender of his family. I hope he didn't take Richard Williams' story and try to justify assaulting someone, because that's if he did, that's foul. Especially with that man not here to, talk about that. You're just gonna assume that Richard Williams would have walked up and slapped somebody like that. It's not a good look, but I pray that they all get over it. Pray that they get through it. I'm done with it. I'm not talking about it no more. I'm not putting no comments on nobody's social media post. I just wanted to address it and say how I felt about the situation. If you feel that Will was wrong, you feel he was justified, whatever, we can chop it up. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, holler at your boy. We'll see you again a little bit later this week. I hope you all have a great day. God bless.